Besties, welcome to Martinis with Eddie. I'm very excited about this episode, you guys. This is an exclusive. I got major tea from the season premiere of Housewife of New Jersey. I just want to make sure that you know that this is not a podcast to spoil your episode, so you better watch the season premiere on February 7th, okay? If I'm sharing this tea, it's not for you to not watch the episode. I just want to make that clear. So if you're listening, be ready for some spoilers, but it's not going to spoil the episode. So you have to watch it because there's a lot of great moments in this upcoming premiere. You're gonna love it. My sources got all the tea. As you saw some of my screenshot on my Twitter, there's going to be a lot of changes on the dynamic in some of the housewife. Could be for a short period of time or for the whole entire season. We will find out that on February 7th. First off, I want to talk about Teresa. Teresa comes into season 13 with a new mentality. The Teresa that you're gonna see on season 13 is a brand new Teresa. I call her Namaste Teresa. Um, Teresa looks happy. She's fit. My sources told me that there's going to be a sit down with Teresa. Uh, she's been influenced by her family, and it's refreshing to see her uh, with family who cares for her. There's going to be a shift in her behavior. There's going to be a sit down with Marge. That's the sit down that's going to happen in the first episode, you guys. Teresa is inviting Margaret to her house. That's a big one, you guys. I want you to understand why this is a big deal. Teresa, a couple of seasons ago, she would have been like, "No, bitch, we're not talking." She would have flipped a table. She would have done a partisan Teresa. Partisan Teresa would be like, "Nope, this bitch is not coming to my house." But on this first episode, Teresa wants to talk to Margaret about, you know, the previous season's allegation that she was throwing about Louis. So keep that in mind. This is a conversation that happens because of last season's issues. But also remember that Margaret is going to be invited to Teresa's wedding. So I think that's where this is all coming to be. Honestly, you guys, what I'm saying tonight is not for you to not watch the episode. I just really want you to be excited because it's going to be a great season in the Garden State. Teresa has shown so much growth and is going to be reflected in this conversation that she's having with Margaret. She's happy, and I honestly, there's moments when it comes to Teresa and her growth that is gonna be even more obvious when she is surrounded by her new family, her in-laws. And I want to ask this to Bravo. Bravo, if you are listening to me right now, which I hope you're not, because I'm not supposed to be spilling so much tea in just one episode. I think we need more of the in-laws. I think I need Teresa to interact more with her new family than with Melissa and Joe Gorga, because I'm kind of tired of Melissa and Joe Gorga riding the coattail of Teresa's life. We had seen it since BravoCon. And remember, this season was filmed before BravoCon, you know? So, obviously, out there, you see, Melissa and Joe Gorga playing the media and doing the whole Instagram and stuff, trying to paint Teresa as the evil sister. But guys, don't be fooled. There is definitely a major growth on Teresa's side. And if you saw that screenshot that I posted on my Twitter of her confessional, how beautiful she looks, and it only comes from a place of happiness, and that's what she called her bubble. Like bubble of love, I love a bubble, whatever. It's definitely something that you are going to see more of that on this episode. Um, I I'm excited for one more thing on this particular um, premiere. Um, we witness a huge fight between Dolores and Jennifer. I am shocked, because I mean, I never thought of Dolores and Jennifer as like two best friends, like two besties, like maybe Jennifer and Teresa. But the blow up that is gonna happen is going to shift their friendship. I don't know for how long, you guys. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be resolved in the first episode or resolved at the end of the season. Who knows? But on that first episode, it's very obvious that the tension between the two of them is really high, and it's stemming from the reunion. So you have an idea. If you haven't watched the House New Jersey reunion from season 12, go watch it so you can understand why Jennifer and Dolores blowout happened on the first episode. I mean, Dolores hasn't had Jennifer's back in the past, and Jennifer noticed that more at the reunion. So keep that in mind when you watch the first episode. It's going to be intense. It's going to be. Remember when she told Margaret, Mary Webster, where you at? Keep that in mind too. You're gonna laugh when you see what I'm talking about. Um, yes, I am going to show this. One of the comments that I have right now. Hi, Aaron. It says Dolores and Jennifer have always seemed like friends because they are both friends with Teresa, but they're not real friends with each other. I must agree with that, and there has to be. Keep this in mind, you guys. When you watch this episode, and this fight happens, keep those words in mind, because I think Aaron has a lot like on point right here when she comments saying that Dolores and Jennifer have always seemed like friends, but because they are both friends with Teresa, but not with each other. Keep that in mind. Hello, everybody who's joining. I just like I said it before. I have all the tea for you guys for this brand new season premiere. I don't want to spoil it because my intention is for you guys to actually watch the season premiere. We have to make this season premiere successful. But I want to give you some backstory of what you are going to see. I got sources, very, very, very accurate sources. So this is not me making one of those breaking news, you know, allegedly. No, this is all straight up facts. This is from very reliable sources, and you are going to see it. I want you guys to keep this information in mind when I actually do my recap episode the day after the premiere. Keep that in mind. This is the information that I wanted to have. Okay, so let's move on. Margaret and Teresa sit down. I mentioned before that it was mainly because of the Luis's accusations that they were, you know, dragging for this whole entire season, you know. But this is where I always look sideways on production sometimes. The intention was for her to apologize and take accountability for what she said about Louis. Is she gonna do it? Is that what's gonna happen? You guys, I don't think so. Um, it to me it seems like maybe Margaret is a friend of the production, or maybe Margaret is has a preference position of her production to like ignore the fact that she is not taking any accountability, and she's trying to project the whole mess on Teresa. Keep that in mind. Question here: how are the newbies? The newbies on this first episode, yes, we are gonna be introduced to all three. We get to know them in the first episode. Depend on who you like. If you like Melissa and Margaret, there's one for you. And if you like Teresa and Jennifer Aiden, there's one for you too. They are definitely, I think it's a good match. I think the ladies they are bringing to this season, they are going to be strong housewives. Um, in the first episode, we might not get to know them fully, to know their to full potential as housewives. But what I'm gonna say is that we do get to be introduced to them. I personally like um, Danielle, right? I think she is extremely Jersey. She remind me of like Jersey-licious, fabulousness. You're gonna love her. If you like fabulous housewives, she is delivering. You know, she is going to bring she's going to bring a more interesting version of kind of like Dorit. You know, we like fashion girls. Yes, she is going to bring a lot of the fashion, but obviously she's going to be involved in the drama. You know, um, one thing that we have to remember is that the reason why Jackie is not a full time is because Danielle Cabral took her place. Danielle Cabral's story is way more interesting. Um, she is been, I mean, Danielle has been in previous, um, what's it called, reality TV shows. Only one in True Life. I don't know. It's back in 2006. That's how we got introduced to Danielle. But yes, that's I love her. I think she's going to be great. Then we also have Raquel Fuda, and she is going to be more on Melissa and Margaret's side. So to answer your question, I do believe the newbies are going to deliver. It was a very interesting way to be introduced to them, and I am Team Danielle. And for those who like Raquel, good for you. Jackie is going to be also there. Remember also that Jackie is going to try her best to side with, you know, Melissa and Margaret to keep her. I don't know what do we hold in Jersey, meatballs, but yeah, the reason why Jackie is not a full-time housewife is because even though she said that she's trying to take care of herself, which is very valid, also Danielle delivered and took her place. Yes, I want to also share with you guys that obviously the Gorgas are on the episode as always. Um, the main part of their conversation on this first episode is gonna be heavily focused on how Teresa ignored them and she never hang out with them outside, um, you know, filming, kind of like, oh, she never is around, blah, blah, blah. She never calls and all this stuff. I want to ask you guys who are listening, how did Melissa and Joe Gorga got on the show? And why? Their purpose to be on the show. There's plenty of receipts out there, and it's being confirmed by many sources that the reason why they are on the show is because they wanted to be on the show to kind of like argue and always be against Teresa. And it seems to me that the happier Teresa gets in her life with herself and her family, the more activated this mission is for them. So pay attention on this episode. Pay attention on this episode. It's gonna be very obvious. And remember that this happened before they were uninvited to the wedding. This happened before. Okay? So there seems to be, from my perspective, they are creating a narrative. So do with this information what you think is best. Also, I'm not saying that they are bad people. Let's keep that in mind too. This is not about being good or bad people, but there's also a lot to be with who wants to have the bigger spotlight or who wants to be the bigger star of the family. Because as we all know, Jersey is heavily focused on family dynamics. And when Teresa was on the show, we know that Melissa and Joe went behind her back to join the show. It is a fact. This is not me trying to take a side or not. It's been said by production, by people who are involved in production. It's been confirmed many times, especially recently. Recently, many people have said, yes, she was casting and doing the whole stuff without telling her. And her focus was not to destroy Teresa. Like, let's not use the word destroy, but definitely to be the opposite team of her, because in reality television and in life, we have to have like somebody that we support and somebody we don't support, and they're playing that narrative. I am 100% sure that the intention, especially in this first episode, is projection. It's projecting how they want Teresa to be portrayed on the show. And I don't know, guys, there's a lot of receipts out there right now that kind of prove the opposite. They keep creating this whole narrative that Teresa it's never talking to them, that she always talks bad about them. And if you went to BravoCon, or if you watch any clip from BravoCon that is out there, every time that Teresa was interviewed, she never spoke badly about Melissa or Joe Gorga. She decided to move on with that narrative. On the other hand, we have Joe Gorga having a full-on meltdown on one of the panels because somebody asked about Teresa. And every single interview that they mentioned her. And they weren't even being asked about her. They decided to talk about her. So, I don't know, guys. Seems to me like they're projecting. And if you're going to be on a show called The Real Housewife, at least let's be real here, This is, let me see. I had shared so much tea right now, you guys. I don't want to do a scene by scene recap because I don't want to spoil you guys. I don't want you guys to go and watch the episode thinking that you already heard everything about it. That's not my intention here. I want to read what Matt said here. Matt said that that Jackie gets pissed at Raquel for not looking at her during a combo. I feel like she's gonna come across so desperate for camera time this season because she knew she was at risk of demotion. It's true. It's being said many times that Jackie was trying real hard to find ways uh, to keep that full time housewife position, and at the end, the newbies took her place. That's a fact. So there you have, you guys. Let me recap what I said so far. So we have a full understanding. There's going to be a blow up between Dolores and Jennifer, this team from the reunion. There's going to be a sit down between Teresa and Margaret to try to fix what was being said in the previous season about Luis. And there's going to be also a beautiful moment between Teresa and her in laws. If I'm not wrong, they were celebrating her 50th birthday. I don't want to give more because I don't want to tell you more about the episode, but these are important facts and information that I want you to keep in mind for when the episode premieres. Um, just remember that, I mean, Jersey, the main focus of Jersey is family, like I said before. We are going to see some issues between, Dolores and Frank Catania. You know that Dolores is dating somebody new and has a lot to do with that, which I think is ridiculous because Frank Catania has been doing whatever he wants to do in the streets of New Jersey, and for him to have any saying for what um, Dolores does with her life, I think is ridiculous. Yes, I'm just getting everybody excited, you guys. That's what I want. That's my purpose with this exclusive. I One of the main goals to this quick episode is to make sure that you guys get excited. You guys are, ready for this premiere. And keep in mind, I want you guys to listen to this podcast, right? Hold to the information. And when I do my recap episode the day after the premiere, where I can fully speak on every single issues and every single scenes of the first episode, then we can have a full-on conversation and we all have all the details, and that'd be great. But I just want to make sure that you guys know that every single time that I get any tea from verified sources and for people who actually have 100% the information from the show, I'm going to share with you guys. Because that's why I created this podcast for. I'm not going to hold to that tea. I'm not going to pretend that, that I don't know anything. I want to make sure that you guys know and that you guys are ready because this season is going to be good. It's going to be good. I wish they will update the graphic of that damn intro so ugly. I agree. I don't understand, and this is true. I need to share this because the graphics of the intro, I cannot stand the fact that New Jersey, being one of the top franchises of Bravo, they don't do them justice when it comes to the graphics. There's no justice, and they use the same photos and the same stuff for so long. I'm just really happy. And this is another thing, you guys. I broke the news before it was public. The theme and the color scheme for the cast photos, the rock and roll theme, and the purples and the and the blues for their dresses. So, and that was literally, you can go on my Twitter, and before anyone else posted about it, I gave that tea. And I'm so happy that at least Bravo tried to, giving them a brand new cast photo, because that cast photo is fire. They all look great. I love the color scheme, which is basically also my color scheme too. Purples and blues and stuff like that. So yes, I do agree that they need to upgrade the graphics of the intro. I watched the intro. There was I saw some of the intro you know clips and stuff. I still believe that definitely they need to upgrade those. Hello, everybody. Well, thank you for joining. Once again, like I said before, this is a quick update and exclusive from the first episode of the season 13 of Real Housewives of New Jersey. If you can hear my voice, you know that I'm excited. When I started stuttering and stumbling with my words, because I'm so excited to share with you such an amazing information. Now, after I had said all this, I think I already gave you a big picture of what New Jersey is going to be and how it's going to start. Are you going to be rooting for Teresa, Danielle, Jennifer Aiden, Dolores in the middle, or are you going to be rooting for Margaret, Melissa, Raquel? What's your team? Pick your team wisely. It's going to be a fun ride, you guys. I'm going to have more tea coming. If you have any question right now, it's your time to send it, because I am going to make sure that you leave this podcast knowing everything you want to know about this first episode. I don't want to give you everything away, because I want you to be excited about this new era in New Jersey. Like I mentioned before, Teresa is going to show a lot of growth. This huge fight between Dolores and Jennifer is definitely going to be one of those fights for, you have to watch to believe. Because Dolores, it's Dolores. And Jennifer has a great comebacks. She's quick with her mind and her read, so I love that about her too. I'm going to be rooting for my team, which is Teresa. As I'm from Jersey, and I'm not afraid to say that I'm gonna be a little biased. Just because I'm Team Teresa doesn't mean that you can come here as team whatever you want to be and share your opinion. This is a open door place for everybody. You can share whoever you want to support. But I personally love Teresa and Jennifer Aiden and Danielle, and obviously Dolores, whenever she decides to show up to the place. Are we going to see Dolores' boyfriend? Yes, we are going to. Yes, yes, we are going to see pretty much everybody on the first episode. But I think the episode focus more on Frank Catania's reaction to this new relationship. That's where the first episode kind of relies on when it comes to Dolores' storyline. It's more like his reaction. Do you have an opinion about her boyfriend? I don't have an opinion on her boyfriend, to be honest. If she's happy with him, good for her. I'm going to make sure that I do a little more of a digging if there's anything that I need to know besides of what the eyes meet about him. So I do believe that she seems to be in a happy place with the guy. I'm the kind of person who wants to give the housewife, the benefit of a doubt of knowing that the person that they're dating are good for them. So if she's happy and nothing seems suspicious, good for her. Any other questions, you guys? Yes, I'll also remember there's going to be another moment that you are going to love, because I already posted a photo, so it's not like a secret. If you go to my Twitter, you see that Jennifer Aiden has a boot on. If I feel like Jennifer always starts the season with something, last season was the nose and the chin. She was like had her head wrapped and everything, and then whatever. She was recovering from the surgery. Now we have Jennifer Aiden in a boot. Do we see Teresa in the new home with everything set up? Yes. The sit down with Margaret happens at Teresa's house. So we will see her house. And like I said before, I think it's amazing the fact that Teresa invites Margaret to her home, because Patterson Teresa will not do that. We all know that Patterson Teresa would not have that woman at her house, nowhere near to her family. Is Jackie part of the first season? Yes, Jackie is part of the first season, the first episode. Yes, all the ladies are in the first episode. Everybody's is who's like cast is going to be there. We get to see all the three new newbies. We see the old cast. There's going to be the reason why they have a huge fight Dolores and Jennifer is because they are at an event together, and all the women are gonna be there. So yes, I don't want to give more details about the event in particular, but you're gonna see that when you watch the episode. So you guys, I think I have given you enough. If you haven't in this confessional style any difference, some of the photo looks slightly more zoomed out than normal, but I like it. Yes, the confessionals do look like a little more like it's kind of like the waist up. Usually it's more like chest area in the head, like almost like like portrait mode kind of thing. This time is more. You see a little more. It kind of remind me a little bit of I mean, not as open. Obviously, you don't see the legs as much. But do you guys remember the Ultimate Girls Trip kind of setting where you can actually see most of the lady's body kind of situation? Yes, that's the style, which I like to. I like to see, body language. I love when people can move their hands and you can see the whole entire body movement. So yes, I agree with you, Matt. I prefer that style as well. So as you guys can see, I want to make sure also to remind you guys, if you enjoyed this tea in particular, this exclusive, please go to my podcast and subscribe and rate, because we survive with your love. That's how our podcast survive. So if you truly enjoyed this podcast tonight, please have the time to just rate or leave a comment. You can also find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. I also have my own website, martinywitheddy.com. And you can find me on all platforms as Martinis with Eddie. I'm going to get more tea, for you guys, for sure. This is not the only tea from New Jersey. I have so much more to bring. And also, as we get closer to Beverly Hills, I have a lot from Beverly Hills too. Okay, guys, so it was an exclusive episode tonight. It's a short one, but with a lot of information that I wanted you guys to have tonight. Make sure that you tune in on Real Housewives of New Jersey on Bravo on February 7th. It's all for tonight, guys. And as I always say, you know how it goes. Bye, besties.